Your Honor, it is over now. This has never been a case of trying to get free. I didn't ever want freedom. Frankly, I wanted death for myself. This was a case to tell the world that I did what I did not for reasons of hate. I hated no one. I knew I was sick or evil or both. Now I believe I was sick. The doctors have told me about my sickness, and now I have some peace. I know how much harm I have caused. I tried to do the best I could after the arrest to make amends, but no matter what I did, I could not undo the terrible harm I have caused. My attempt to help identify the remains was the best that I could do, and that was hardly anything. I feel so bad for what I did to those poor families, and I understand their rightful hate. I know I will be in prison for the rest of my life.
Justice for Sade Robinson. Tracy Edwards. He was one of the men that was able to flee from Jeffrey Dahmer. Dahmer wanted to kill him. He wanted to eat his heart, trophy his penis, and put his other body parts in the refrigerator. Rita Isabel is the sister of Errol Lindsay. He was one of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims that wasn't able to get away. His body parts were more than likely placed in the refrigerator. These were victims of Jeffrey Dahmer, just a few victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. There was many more.
Spell your last name for us.
Tracy Edwards, Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, you're going to ask you to speak up very loudly into the microphone. I would like to know in what state do you reside at the present time?
Louisiana.
And how old are you, sir?
32.
32? And you are single?
Yes.
You were in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on July the 22nd, 1991?
Yes.
And at or about that time, on that late afternoon, did you have occasion to see a person that you knew at that time or subsequently learned was a fellow by the name of Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes.
And you know that Mr. Dahmer you're speaking about is the defendant in this case to my right, correct?
Yes.
And that made a record show the identification.
Sir, would you indicate where Mr. Dahmer is seated in the courtroom?
It's over there.
Right in the middle between my two associates?
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
The record should reflect the defendant's been identified.
So that you know, Mr. Edwards, your name is known to the jury because there has been testimony concerning what happened to you and at the apartment of Mr. Dahmer. Do you understand?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Where did you know Mr. Dahmer by name prior to that date?
I've seen him a couple of times before then. I didn't know his name personally.
All right. Did you ever talk to him before that date?
I was speaking to him, saying hello as he passed by. Yeah.
Just casual, friendly?
Casual, yeah, friendly.
Hellos?
Hellos, yeah.
Where was it that you saw him in the late afternoon, early morning hours of July the 22nd?
Grand Avenue Mall.
And that was in Milwaukee?
Correct.
Downtown on Wisconsin Avenue?
Wisconsin, correct.
Were you with somebody or were you alone?
A couple of her friends, yeah.
Okay, so the record is absolutely clear. You are not a homosexual, are you?
No, not at all.
Okay. So you were with a couple of your buddies, were you?
That's correct.
And what were you doing?
We was drinking beer, just talking, hanging out, you know.
About 6 o'clock at night, was this?
Yeah, about 6:15, whatever.
Did you have occasion then to see Mr. Dahmer?
Yeah, he approached us eventually and started talking to us, yeah.
Were you 3 black males?
Yeah, one white, 2 black male.
Okay. So you're friends?
Yeah, my best friend was white, yeah.
When he came up and started talking to you, what is it that Mr. Dahmer said to you?
He said he was just in the city from Chicago. He was taking care of her sick grandmother, I believe, in West Allis. Yeah.
And did he have any further conversation with you and your friends?
Yeah, he was just talking. He said he was a professional photographer. He usually pays people for pictures and stuff like that if anybody was interested in making money at that time.
To have to pose for pictures?
Yeah.
Did he describe the kind of pictures that you were going to be posing for if you chose to take him up on the offer?
He said nude.
Nude.
Right.
Now, after he said that to you, what did you and your friends do?
They were just talking, discussing it, seeing what was going on,
And what did you end up doing? Did you remain at Grand Avenue or did you go somewhere else?
We proceeded from there. He said he was going to buy all his guys beer, rum, and Coke, watch videos or something like that.
Rum and Coke, did you say?
Yeah, we went to the liquor store on Wisconsin Avenue, 7th and Wisconsin Avenue.
So you walked from Grand Avenue down to 7th and Wisconsin?
Yeah, up, so to speak, yeah.
Was it going to be the three of you and Mr. Dahmer were going to stay together, or was it agreed upon that one or others of you were going to go with Mr. Dahmer, or was there no agreement?
They were going to meet up with us eventually later on that evening.
Did you see him put it on, or was it on?
No. When we first got into the apartment, he went through the back to the back bedroom. Maybe he put it on then, I'm not sure.
Okay. And then what happened? You're both sitting on the bed?
Yes.
Are you still in handcuffs?
Yes.
Is he holding the handcuff?
Right.
Do you still have the knife?
Right.
Is it pointed at your side, as you've told us before?
Right.
You trying to be cool?
Very much so.
You're not fighting with him?
No.
What's your intention? What are you planning on doing?
Getting away. I was contemplating on at the point jumping out the window. Yep. I was basically talking with this person, trying to let him know I was his friend. Yeah.
As you were sitting there on the bed, when he had you by the handcuff and a knife at your side, at that time, which would have been maybe 7 o'clock,
Something like that.
what impression was made upon your mind by the conduct, action, manner, expression, and conversation that you observed of Mr. Dahmer?
His frame of mind is what you want to know, right? Okay, he acted. At times he would go through like different changes with me,
Tell us about that.
One minute he's like nice, then he was telling he didn't want people to leave him or abandon him, things of this nature, Yeah.
Well, what did you think about him as a person? What impression was made on your mind of this fellow that you're dealing with here?
Yeah, that at times he wasn't himself, and then at times he was like a nice guy, He would come and go different times, throughout the whole time. Then he would like sit, being quiet at times, watching a movie, wanting me to watch the movie, and just doing little tanning sounds,
Did you observe him watching the movie and how he would react to the movie?
Right, he would like just start rocking back and forth when he, certain parts of the movie or whatever.
You have to say, what did he say, Madam?
It was like chanting at certain times and rocking back and forth, right?
Tell us about his chanting. What was that all about?
I'm not even sure, sir, but it was just like, I can't tell you the words. I couldn't understand what he was saying at that time.
Can you mimic him? How it sounded?
It was like a slow slur, like, some of that nature, some close like that, I'm not sure.
Did it keep on for a period of time?
Off and on throughout the ordeal.
And how about the movement back and forth? How was that being effectuated?
Just like back and forth, he would do it every now and then.
Just as you are rocking in your chair?
Like this.
And chanting?
And chanting.
Was there any parts of the movie that was going on that you saw that he said anything about?
It was like the part about the preacher that used to be a preacher that had got possessed, and that it would seem like he was like interested in that part. That part had his attention more than anything.
Well, tell us about what you mean by that. What impressions were made upon your mind when this was going on as to had his attention? How did he appear to you?
It appeared like it was like he wanted to mimic it or be like that part, being demonized or whatever in that nature.
I'm sorry, I missed you.
Yeah, like he wanted that type of movie, that part, certain parts of that part interested him. It was like he changed with it at times. Then he would get more aggressive, try to get me to handcuff myself, both hands. And he's told me it made him feel more dominant at that time.
Okay, did you and he move off of the bed at any time?
Yes, he wanted me to lay flat down, stomach down on the floor at that time.
Did you at any time go to the bathroom, use the washroom, prior to the time that he asked you to lay down on the floor?
No.
All right, tell us what happened how did that happen that he told you to lay down on the floor?
He told me to lay down, face down, put both of my hands behind my back because he changed again at that point, like he got more aggressive at that time.
Okay, now, but tell us, did he still have the knife out?
Yes, he still had the knife with him.
And what did you do?
Okay, I kind of like laid on my sides. For some reason, I guess God told me not to lay flat down or let this person handcuff me, so I didn't.
So you were trying to stop that from happening, but you got down on the floor.
Right.
What did he do?
He kind of laid across me, put his head across my chest at that point.
And what was he doing with his head?
Pardon me?
What did it appear to you he was doing with his head? What was he trying to do?
Like he was listening to my heart, because at a point he told me he was going to eat my heart at that point.
He said he was going to eat your heart?
Yes, that's correct.
Did he still have the knife?
Yeah.
I have seen comments on social media, the comments saying that Maxwell Anderson is innocent and only being attacked because he is white. I think those people do know the truth, but those people like to argue on social media just to try to get a row out of others. He did it. He was the last person with Sade Robinson, and he did it. The questions are why, and has he done this before? People are calling Anderson the 2024 Jeffrey Dahmer. And of course, you know the late Dahmer, the man who went years undetected, killing people, a total of 17 males, men and boys, between the year 1978 to 1991. The first man was a white man, a hitchhiker by the name of Stephen Hicks. After drinking with Dahmer, he wanted to leave, and Dahmer killed him. He didn't want him to go. He would hit him over the head with a 10-pound dumbbell and then later strangle him. It just so happened that the majority of the men that Dahmer killed later, they were black. In Dahmer's own words, he said that the black men were beautiful to him. Even a young, underage Asian boy who the police sent back to Dahmer. I would just like to add that the 14-year-old boy's name was Keneric Synthensophone. He was actually found by two young girls that lived in the building. He was bleeding from his anus. He was heavily drugged. He had cuts and abrasions all over his body. And when the cops found him, they just brought him back. Dahmer said that they had a quarrel, a lover's quarrel, and that he was drunk, and he just brought him back. That would be one of the young men's whose head would be later found in the freezer. He committed his first murder in Bath Township, Ohio, and he continued the rest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He would seduce them. He would promise them money for photos, just drinking, all types of stuff. But he did whatever he could to get them inside his home where he had full control. Maxwell Anderson, he would murder and dismember 19-year-old Sade Robinson's body. After going out on a date with Anderson, Sade was very excited about this first date. Sade had told all her co-workers at the pizza shuttle that she was going out with Maxwell Anderson. Anderson, he even sat at the bar telling the bartender that he was going out on his first date with Sade. And the two would meet at the Twisted Seafood, where they would have dinner and conversation. Now, Sade's conversations with her co-workers about this date, that would ultimately put the ducks in a row. Because when she hadn't returned back to work the following day, they issued a welfare check by the police. Anderson has pled not guilty, and there has been blood found inside his home on the bedding and the basement walls, but the DNA test says that the blood is not Sade's. So whose blood is it? We still want to know. Whose blood is it? Are there more victims? Has Maxwell Anderson killed and dismembered more victims? There are many black and brown people that are missing in that area and have not been found to date. Joanna Walker, she went missing on June 23rd, 2022. She was 16 years old and from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She was lastly seen on CCC footage with a large backpack, a camping-style backpack. She had been talking to someone that she met online. Now, this isn't public knowledge too much, but people do know. And rumor has it that Joniah Walker, she worked at the Pizza Shuttle and that she knew Sade Robinson. Now, I don't know if that is really true or not, but both these young ladies were the same age at the time. It most certainly is a possibility. And even if Joniah Walker's case has nothing to do with it, she's still a missing girl out of Milwaukee.
Isabel, and I'm the oldest sister of Errol Lindsay. Whatever your name is, Satan. I'm mad. This is how you act when you are out of control. I don't want to ever see my mother have to go through this again. Never, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, I hate you, mother. I hate you. This is out of control. Don't Jeffrey, I kill you. And look at me, mother. I can kill you.
What's your name, fast?
I can kill you. You don't have to.
Son of a hurt my baby. This sick son of a is gonna pay. This is justice for Sade. Who the would do something like this to my beautiful baby? She hurt nobody. She harmed nobody. I hate this. And so when he's in the inside, I want you to rape and torture that like till I get to and hunt him eternally. Torture that and rape him in the population till I can get to him and hunt the out of him.